Hey everybody, this is Kerri Mubarak at wooingnature.life, and this is Get This Money, okay? This is your money reading for the month of November. I'm going to be doing these every month according to your element. So we'll do earth, air, fire, water as usual, and then we'll also finish up with a little short message for each sign in that element. So a lot of people have been dealing with issues with money. They've been broke, they've been struggling, they've been trying to get from one thing to the next thing, trying to get jobs, trying to get their mind right around money. And what better way to do that than to do that intuitively? What better way to manage that than manage it intuitively? And so I will be using the cards, more specifically the Ching. You like that, don't it? I'm going to be using the I Ching to help us get our focus, and then I will be following up with the tarot for details for each of the signs in that element. So this is Get This Money for November for the element of Earth. So we'll be dealing with Earth. That means you, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and we'll be doing you guys in that order. We'll be taking care of you all in that order toward the end of the video. Okay. All right. So I have already pre-shuffled and already pulled for you all just because I was, preparing the table for this. And once it's pulled, well, hell, you might as well read it, right? And so the very first card out the deck was this one. This is number 13 in the I Ching, which corresponds to community, more specifically, and communion with humanity, or communion. And then the changing card is number 27. Let me get my glasses on. Number 27. So without even reading the I Ching, the very first thing that made an appearance for me is just all of these people here. There's a number of people. There's a number of connections. If you notice, look even closer, there's circles within circles within circles within circles. And I think it's interesting because the earth signs, when I did your new moon reading, your new moon view, that came up as a issue that you need to kind of pan out. You need to get the 20,000 foot view or the 10,000 foot view because you're kind of seeing things too close up. When you get out there, you figure out that you're not in this little tiny circle right here that's limiting you or keeping you kind of closed in, but the circles are very wide and very broad, and then there's circles within circles. So connect with your people. Find out who your connections are, and then find out who they're connected to and who they're connected to. And then you'll also see that you've got some broader circles anyway. So these are your resources. If you're talking about getting money and getting your financial situation together, you need to look to your people resources. So that term human capital is going to mean a lot to you right now because that's where the resources are, and money is just another resource. And it looks like you've got plenty of resources that are circulating around you in relationship to people, the people that are around you right now. Then on the other side of the fence, we have, because everything is about yin and yang, so this is where your money is, but look at what you got to do to balance it out. This is you by yourself, on your own, spending time creating the right balance, because this is a lot of energy here. Earth signs. This is a lot of energy. A lot of energy equals to or connects to a lot of money. Money has its own energy. If you want an abundance, then you have to look at where you have an abundance, and then where your abundance is, then you'll tap into that abundance for your financial abundance. And right now, your abundance is people. The connections that you have with the people around you, and utilizing the energy of those people to build up your own capital. So number 13 talks about communion, specifically with humanity. It says complete togetherness with humanity is only possible if you share a common goal and everyone is free to develop their own individual talents. So each one of these people that's around you have their own individual talents. You have your own individual talent as well. Bringing these people together is probably one of them. I think in your new moon reading, if you go back and look at that, the eagle came up for the earth signs, and the eagle sits up high. They are in positions of leadership. So you'll probably find your way somewhere in leadership, in a leadership position, earth signs, or at least you're leading a group. You may be leading your team. You may be leading a cohort. You may be leading a whole company. whatever it is, earth signs, whichever way you see yourself, organization, whatever it is, you'll be in a position of leadership, whether or not you actually occupy that title or not. So you got to look past all of that, because this is also this is a time where the illusions be coming in and, getting your vision off. So you don't want to get into that. You're looking at your position and what position you hold internally, and then how that reflects outside of yourself. All right, I'll get to that in a minute. Only then can harmony rule and yield a sense of unity. If you wish or are requested to take on responsibility in a team or group, now here's something key. You should ask yourself honestly whether you possess sufficient strength and clarity of thought for you to take on that task. So that's how you're going to differentiate, because like I said, this is going to be a lot of energy coming in. A lot of people are going to be asking you to do this for them and that for them and this for them and that for them. You have to ask yourself if you have the capacity to do the task that they're asking you to do. And if you don't have all the capacity, then you have to look at your team around you and find out, with your team, do you then have capacity to do it? And if so, then that means they've got to hire your team. I love that. You all have been doing your work, earth signs. You all have been doing your work, and now it's time for you to go ahead and capitalize on that. Now, they're not going to hand it to you. They're not going to give it to you on a silver platter. In fact, they're going to probably try to, some other earth signs are going to try to push you out the way so they can get a piece of the action. And some of these other signs are going to try to do it too. But it's your rightful place because you've been doing the work. All right. It says a sense of justice, social awareness, and organizational skills are further essentials for the job. So let's say that again. Justice. So anything related to things that are just or unjust. So it could be a legal position, it could be in a law office, it could be dealing with laws, policies, procedures, any kind of procedural analysis, organizational management, organizational skills. That comes up later, is important, or it may come up for you. Social awareness. Things that bring about social awareness. We have a lot of things right now on the table that need to be dealt with. Immigration is one of them. Gender rights is another one of them. Women's rights, yet another one of them. There's lots of things, if you notice the news, lots of things popping up where we need social awareness so that good decisions can be made for the sake of the whole, for the good of the whole. Because that was also in your new moon reading as well, earth signs. All right, support the objectives of your group unconditionally. So if you're in a group, whatever the mission, the vision, and the focus for that group, you stand for that unconditionally. That is what you're agreeing to. And if you don't agree, if you're in a position where you do not agree with the vision, the mission, and the focus of the organization or the business or the company that you work for, it's time to make a transition, because that has to be aligned. It has to be aligned. And some of you are having experiences where you're trying to make something happen in one of these circles and it's not working. That's because there's no alignment with your true purpose. You got to be sure about that. And if you want to know about that, give me a call. This is not a time to make a name for yourself on your own terms. Okay? Support the objectives of your group and ensure the equal rights of each participant. It's very, very important. It might seem like a small thing, but when you're talking about being a leader and stepping into leadership positions, being fair, being impartial, understanding the purposes of the group or the organization is very important, and following through with that and holding that line. That's what we really depend on earth signs for, is helping us to maintain a structure, but also to examine the structure. Examine the structure. See, is it fair? See if it's good for the whole. And if it's not good for the whole, then it's time to start changing policies, changing procedures. And that's where you come in, because you can say, hey, this doesn't work for everybody. I've seen it. I've worked in this circle, this circle, this circle, this circle, and this circle. In order for this to work, it has to work for everybody. And these are the ideas that I have that will help to make that happen. This is where I feel like decisions need to be made. So you are really stepping up into a leadership position with this earth signs, and the people that are around you are where you become liquid, where the liquidity is that a word? That's where your finances start to come together, because you will now see your finances in their truest form. See, in the spirit realm, the people around you are your money. So if you've been ignoring the people around you, then you've been ignoring your money. If you have not been getting along with the people around you, you're not getting along with your money. If you have been missing people's talents, if you're around people and you haven't been paying that much attention to them because you've been focusing on your myopic goal, then you're missing a whole lot of information. But at the same time, I just want to say you got to balance that out, because dealing with people is a lot of things. You're going to have a whole lot of people. All right, so I have broken down for my, started out with Taurus, then Virgo, and then Capricorn. And then I also pulled some tarot cards for each to kind of clarify. So I'm going to take one step at a time here. All right, so this is for Taurus. This is the image and the passage for Taurus. It is related to card number 10, and I will read that to you. Keep in mind what I've already said for the earth signs. That information is for all the earth signs. This is going to get more specific with your zodiac Taurus. All right, so you are number 10. It talks about conduct, your conduct. It says whether you accomplish success or steer a course to disaster depends upon your own behavior, Taurus. Maintain your sense of dignity and propriety in dealing with people. Again, we're talking about dealing with people. So when you're dealing with people, maintain your sense of dignity and propriety. Think about what you're there to do. Whatever your role is right now, and that means even if you're feeling off kilter or even if you feel like you're not in the right place, deal with now. Where you are now, remember who you are. Remember what you came to do. Remember what your purpose is in that place, and carry out that purpose with dignity and with propriety, they say. By doing so, your authority will remain unassailable to the envious and the malcontent. That protects you. That is your protection. So for those of you Tauruses that are in a hostile work environment and you feel like you need protection, your protection is yourself. Your protection is knowing what your role is and carrying it out to the letter. Not straying off, not getting into the drama, not getting into all this little side stuff. Means nothing, because you already know what your purpose is and you know why you're there. So do that, and that protects you from all of that other filth and flarn that's going on around you. People haterating, people wishing you bad luck, people wanting you feeling like, oh, well, how come everybody loves her and they don't love me? That's for them to deal with, not you. It says, think carefully. There needs to be an overall change in values before fair differences in rank can be established. So if you're feeling like you're not in the right position, like let's say you're that person who everybody comes to when the chips are down and when all things are falling apart, but then they don't want to give you the promotion when it's time for you to get the promotion. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? You doing all the work, but somebody else got the title and the pay. Got to focus on that. Said there needs to be an overall change in the values in order for differences in rank to really be established so that they're actually fair. Develop your own feeling of self-esteem. And you might not have any control over that depending on your position. That's why you got to see what the alignment is. And if the people who are in positions of power cannot understand that, can't follow through on that, then you could be in the wrong place. Let them deal with the drama when you're gone, when they need somebody and you're not there. All right. Develop your own feeling of self-esteem to correspond to your abilities, Taurus. So your feeling good about yourself should not be attached to somebody else's vision of what they think is the right thing or the best ever. Your sense of success is going to be based on what you do and what your talents dictate. That's called your niche. So you're finding your niche. And when you find your niche, then you'll start to see some alignments going on. All right, work towards establishing a communication with others that develops feelings. So it should be a feeling-oriented conversation that you're having. So when you're communicating with people, talk to them about how you're feeling and then let them talk back to you about how they're feeling. It's not nuts and bolts in this particular situation. You want the feeling to be involved, and then that's going to help you understand where people really are, and then that's also going to help you in your leadership. Then you will also make a contribution to the realization of your own plans. There we go. So your own plans are contingent upon your behavior in your workplace as of right now. So wherever you are right now, determine what it is that is your purpose, your standard. What are you there to do? What do you say you're there to do? What do you see yourself doing every day? And then what do the people who mean the most in your situation have to say? Because some people are hating on you and they're never going to tell you how great you are. But there's some other people that are telling you how great you are. Listen to them and find out why you're great. That's a part of you developing your niche. That's a part of you getting the whole picture together here. So don't let people coax you, the malevolence and the envious. Do not let them coax you outside of your peaceful space and outside of your propriety and outside of your dignity. Don't let them make you step outside of that, because you already know what you're there to do. All right, so in talking about behavior, we got the Three of Cups that came up, and we got the King of Swords, and we also got the Prince of Pentacles. Taurus, you're the bull, and you showed up in your own reading. There you go. You got the world right here in your hands, and you're trying to charge forward and figure out what to do about it. And guess what? That's in the realm of Pentacles. That's where your money is too. So it's all coming together here. Speaking of coming together, we got the Three of Cups. Three of Cups means things are coming together for you, and you're getting a sense of where you belong, what your focus is, what your special talents are, kind of putting away some of that other stuff that people say. But one of the things, we got also the King of Swords, and the King of Swords for me is like, you're charging forward and you're focusing on the thing that you want to focus on, but you don't want to, you don't want to overtax it with thinking and thoughts, right? Because then you will start to dictate to people. And you don't want to dictate to people. You want to let it flow. So I got that very clearly there. And then I also got it with this one with that bull. Sometimes the bull charges forward. Taurus, you like to charge forward and you're a feeling person. It's okay to deal with the feelings. And like the I Ching said, you got to deal with the feelings. You got to focus on the feelings. That's very important for you to understand yourself in context. But you can't let your feelings then be the driving force. You've got to let things kind of flow. So that kind of brings up to me that thing about the balance too. This is you dealing with the people, getting in your singular focus, getting some meditation, getting some time out so that you can kind of bring all of that down. I don't want you charging forward, Taurus. I want this to be kind of like you want the water to come in, to flow in and flow out. Yeah, flow in. You don't want to crash into the wave. You don't want the wave to crash into you. You want that ebb and flow. And I think if you take this King of Swords approach, if you take that bull approach, that's what they're talking about those behaviors. Those kind of behaviors is it can cause some dissonance. So just be more observant than you are active, but always remain in your purpose. Always remain in your purpose. All right, moving right along to Virgo. Virgo, you had passage number 29. This is you, Virgo. 29 is a real powerful number. Breaks down to an 11. That's a spiritual number for sure. And then I dropped your other card down here on the floor, so I got to find that before. There it is. Sorry about that. Sometimes these cards get a little slipperated. All righty, so we have passage number 29. For you. 29, 29, 29, 29. All right, 29 talks about precipice and water, the precipice and water. There is through no fault of your own, Virgo, you have fallen into a critical situation and will need all your strength to escape once more. This could be a financial situation that you're dealing with. You find yourself back in a financial slump again, but you can make it, and this time you're going to get some good information. Solve the problem by following the example of water. Water seeks the easiest course, remains true to its direction after each fall, and unwaveringly reaches its end. Follow your principles and make no false compromises. Follow your principles. Follow what it is that you know that you need to do, and don't make it hard, Virgo. It doesn't have to be hard. You're flowing. You're flowing. You're flowing. You're flowing. To make real progress, you'll need to understand the problem from within and act upon it in the outside world. So once you understand what's happening internally, when you hit this slump, you're going to see what's happening internally with you. And once you see what's happening internally, then you're going to make the changes in your physical world. That's some 8 stuff there. So if you're an 8, or if you identify with the number 8, you have an 8 life path number, Virgos, then that 8 energy is there in that message there. The time is extremely instructive and can be of great value for your personal development. Equanimity and optimism in all situations are the best recipe for solving every sort of problem. Equanimity and optimism is where you want to go with this. All right. So in your tarot, we've got the Ace of Pentacles, and this is that Tree of Life symbol. So it's the symbol of the Tree of Life. It's in reverse here. We have the Ace of Swords also in reverse. That's your thoughts, your ideas, your concepts, and everything. And then we have this interference. So what I'm seeing is, like, again, they said, due to no fault of your own, you found yourself in this situation. The situation has to do with you following your own truth, your ability to own your own thoughts, your feelings, your opinions, what it is that you see, what it is that you know. This is here, and wearing it as your crown. If you're not doing that, then that's going to affect your ability to attach to the abundant nature of yourself. Again, we're talking about abundance with the people that are around you. You have to honor yourself. You have to honor your truth. When you're in this situation, you're going to continue to move forward with what it is that you know without question, right? That's a lot of knowing. And Virgos, you all have a lot of knowledge. That's for sure, for certain. Being equal, making sure that things are equitable in your situation, and remaining optimistic becomes really important. And again, look at the problem from within. So if this is about you not honoring your own truth and your own opinions, or making those things known, and that's affecting this, then it'll definitely put you in a situation where you feel bound, or you feel like you're a puppet on a string. You don't want to be the puppet on the string. You want to be the person who's saying, look, this is what I do, this is what I know, and where's my check? Okay? Don't make it hard. Don't make it hard. Keep it simple. And the simplicity is knowing yourself. That's why they said deal with it from the inside. All right, that's you, Virgo. Capricorn, moving on. Capricorn, you're right after your Virgo friends, or actually sitting right before them in number 28. Number 28, Capricorns, is predominance of the great. Predominance of the great. You are in a situation where too many things are affecting you at once. So you got a lot. I'm going to say that this really, really applies to you. It's a lot of things happening at one time for you. They all seem to be important, and they all demand your attention. That's what I was talking about again, Capricorn, in here. Is everybody's going to be coming at you talking about, hey, I need you for this, I need you for that, I need you for the other. That's when they said to ask yourself, do I have the capacity, the strength, the clarity to make that happen? If the answer is no, say no. Just say no. We know how you get excited about doing new things. All right. You need to look at things carefully so that this extraordinary situation does not become permanent, because it is too much. You will not be able to handle it all. It cannot be your permanent. When you start looking at, when people start coming, do this, do this, do this, it feels great and your ego is going to get mad boosted. But guess what? You're going to burn out under it if you don't know how to say no to the things that you need to say no to, and say yes to things you do need to say yes to. You'll find a way out once you succeed in reducing your views of details down to the fundamentals. So go to the basic stuff, very basic stuff. No, you don't need the details. What are you trying to do? How do you propose to do that? All right, I can help you. Or no, I can't do that for you, but I'll recommend somebody for you if I think about it, okay? Good luck and enjoy your day. That's your role, Capricorn. All right. In doing so, you should anticipate suddenly finding yourself in a totally new position in life. The predominance of the great heralds a new crisis, marking the crossing into a better period. So as you are coming out of a crisis period, you're going into a better period, and this is the time. This is the time. This is the season. They're telling you to remain relaxed and serene. And you will solve all difficulties, whether by taking active measures or through patience and biding your time. Okay, so in this, to follow up with the tarot, I got the Nine of Pentacles here, which is a very nice, pleasant card. This is a very Oshun card for those of you who know about Yoruba. It is the deity of beauty and love and joy and money. She can also bring some nice things your way. So I would say if you are into that, or if that's your focus, then make a talisman, or you can make a gift to Oshun, or give an offering to Oshun right now if you feel moved. Could be flowers, could be give something, take something to the river, just to let her know that you see and you know and you recognize and you have heard that there is an abundance coming in the form of people, and that you appreciate that abundance. And whatever it is, if it's not about Oshun for you, if you just want to take this moment of gratitude and prayer, thank the Creator for bringing this to you, because it's been a long time coming. We got the change here, change card in reverse. So things are going to turn for you. In this passage, it said that you will look up. In doing so, it says, find a way. Going back, you will find a way out once you succeed in reducing your view of details down to fundamentals. In doing so, you should anticipate suddenly finding yourself in a totally new position in life. So that's your totally new position. We've got the burden card upside down, which means your burdens are being released through this. But just remember, Capricorn, what the focus is. Don't get caught up in all this, everything that's coming at you. Don't feel like you've got to do all these things. You can't do all these things, but you can definitely use your discernment, and you can definitely look at yourself and say, okay, well, I think I can handle this, or no, I can't handle this, or this is my area, or I'm not interested, or what have you. But that's that. So there we have it. That's your connection. That is your spiritual connection to your money. This is how you need to see your finances, because everybody sometimes people get stuck on the money itself instead of what the money represents. So your money, this is what your money represents. And you got to think about your relationship, how you are relating to your money. And this is your money right now. For all of you, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, but you got your specifics. All right, folks, this has been Get This Money. I'm going to be doing the same thing for the rest of you. So call your friends and let them know that if they've been having issues with their money, if they've been having all kinds of dramas and can't figure out what's what, tune in. And then you'll be able to see what's going on without. All right, as always, hope you're having a great day. I hope your money is going to line up appropriately, and I hope you're having a wonderful life.